Welcome to the Modest Sports Show, home of your modest sports takes. And this evening, we have a great guest. This guest, first, I want to put this out here. This guest is my cousin. This is my first cousin on my mom's side. But one of the first athletes in Stanhope history to be named as a team captain. He's a 24/7 sports three-star, first team all area in his area, first team all metro, first team all county, super 22 mention, all county honorable mention, two-time Hero Fans Choice Player of the Week award, preseason Player of the Year mention, and lastly, Montgomery Area High School Defensive Player watch list. How we doing this evening, dude?
I'm doing great, man. Appreciate the opportunity to be on this show, man. Really,
Yeah.
really excited for real, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, man, we are ecstatic to have you on. And of course, bro, you the man. So, without further ado, man, let's get into it, man. Who is DaShaun Caffee? Where is DaShaun Caffee from?
I am from Verbena, Alabama, in the Clinton, Alabama. I actually got it tatted on me right there, man. So
Yeah,
that's
okay.
where I'm from, a little small town. I've been in Prattville really like my whole life. Really, all I can remember for real, just being in Prattville. But I am from Verbena, Alabama.
Okay. All right. Now, what age would you say you got into football? Like, what was the passion for football? What made you say, okay, this is my sport?
To be honest, I actually got into football really, really just regular timing, little league, but I was never actually like good at football. Like I wasn't like little league, middle school. When I look back at it, I really wasn't at my best. Like what I'm saying, like just as my other teammates was. I didn't actually get into football like actually understanding the game of football and how what it takes to be a great athlete until around high school for real, for real.
Okay. Okay. And that's interesting that you say that because I kind of I somewhat in a way can understand that because my journey was the same. Like not really always being the best, not always being the first to be picked. So, just with that mindset, what do you say kind of transcended your outlook and kind of what you gave the sport in order to earn all of these awards and accolades and kind of be in the position that you're in right now?
Just putting in the work. I had to put in the work a lot. It was we had a trainer down here. Well, I had a trainer down here named Damian Dorsey. He played at Louisville. I remember on Facebook he had made a post like, I'm training. Y'all come out, and it was right at Legacy Park. And my mom showed me, and back then I just really wasn't into football. You know what I'm saying? So my mom was just always pushing me like, if you wanna, just do this and be great at it, you got to put in some work. So I started going to Coach Dorsey, and just at that moment, I knew like after my first session was crazy because he had this thing where it was like you go 1 foot in, the other foot out, and you just do like that. I was going so slow, and I had his son and another quarterback, Caleb McCary. They was doing it, and they was going so fast, and I was
Yeah. You was
like,
on the ladder.
what?
You was on the ladder.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm like, but he always told me like you gotta if you want to be able to move that fast, what I'm saying, you gotta practice it. So
Yeah.
just understanding like it's just more than going out here and putting on the cleats. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It was like it just gave me a whole another view of football in general.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree with that. The more work you put in, um, the better the outcome is with whatever your desired goal is. So I can definitely agree with that. Um, what would you say? What would you just kind of to give the audience some context on our relationship and what you and I guess kind of have formulated over the years, being my younger cousin. How would you how would you label our relationship? What insight might you give an audience about us?
If I was to give insight on me and Kory relationship, I would definitely tell someone Kory is somebody that I look up to. First of all, just the way he carry himself is something that I try to model. You know what I'm saying, or I try to model and do it even better. You know what I'm saying. So um, just I look at him as a role model. Just everything he does to me, it's just like it's just spot on. You know what I'm saying? So I know if I'm doing it times 10, I could be better than him or whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
The things we talk about is just some things I wouldn't tell, what I'm saying, anyone else, so we're very close. Just like a big, big, big brother to me, for real.
Right. Right. And it's to me it's a blessing to be able to mentor you and have you as a mentee and be able to kind of guide you and give you that advice, because I know a lot of people we need that. A lot of people need guidance, and so I'm honored to be able to play that role. But just kind of to skim through your career and just um, what you become as a football player at the high school level. Let's go back to middle school, right? I know you briefly touched on your little league stint and kind of what got you into football, and also your mom, Novella pushing you in that direction. So just kind of just lead us up to the present day moment, and how you came to be like, okay, you're getting better, but also the
Right.
journey and some of the things that you had to go through to get to where you are today.
So I'm gonna start in middle school. Middle school, I played linebacker. So my mindset was always, going into high school, I'm gonna be a linebacker. Like
Okay.
I'm gonna be this linebacker.
Yeah.
Now, think of this in your head. In middle school, I was 5'3", 5'4". You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Having this mindset that I'm finna go into this 6A program and be a linebacker and
Yeah.
start. That was my mindset.
Yeah.
Now this was before that I had got into the training and stuff. So going into my ninth grade year, um, I played a little bit, but I didn't play I never played actual down. I played special teams. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And it was just so much fun. But I was just like, you know, if that's fun, I can only imagine what it's like actually playing a down or playing with, like other teammates, you know what I'm saying? So I started training with Coach Dorsey. And then that next year, going into my sophomore year, I was just, just my feet work was better, my hips was better, my hands was good in there, but I've never ever been able to actually, catch, you know what I'm saying? Maybe because my hands so small, but I've never been able to catch, you know what I'm saying? So I know going into after my sophomore year, that was something I had to work on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So leading up, I had a great my sophomore year. I wasn't expecting to start. I wasn't expecting to actually see the field, if I'm being honest. And nor was my coaches. But we had an injury go down, and next guy up. You know what I'm saying? So I filled in that next spot. I end up winning the starting job after like 1 or 2 weeks. And then just from there, it was up. And I say that I didn't plan on starting my sophomore year, but I recall having a conversation with my cousin Kory, and we sat down and we wrote down goals that I wanted for my sophomore year, because again I didn't have that ninth grade year that I wanted, you know. And we sat down and we wrote goals down that I wanted for myself going into my sophomore year. And once again, at practice, he don't know, but I know, like I see, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't getting in, like golly. So once I got my opportunity, it was like, like you don't let up. And I
Yeah.
remember texting you. I still got a message. I remember texting you. It was like, hey, I was like something like, they started me at practice and something like that. And you was like, don't let up. It's yours. That's
Yeah.
your position. And
Yeah.
so just going through, I end up, winning the job for the next 3 years. So sophomore year, junior, then senior. So I ended up winning that job for 3 years. And then my junior year is really when I blew up. I had 5 interceptions, a pick six, 70 tackles, and just plenty of more like stats wise. I just ended up, blowing up from there. And I started getting a little bit more looks, you know what I'm saying? I started going on little visits with my cousin, Kobe, actually getting to see like what our coach is really looking for in a player. Actually getting to see the environment of a college game and stuff like that. And then going into my senior year, was expecting a big year. I ended up getting injured. I came back a little earlier. I rehabbed like crazy. I came back and I still had a decent year, but just not the year that I was looking for. But just working my way up or just looking back from where I started to where I am now, I'm just extremely blessed, for real, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's actually funny that you mentioned that, because I do recall that now that you said us sitting down, going over your goals, and then also like, hey man, dog out, it's yours. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? You seize the moment. So it's just watching it like I tell you in private, just watching it from afar. That's been like one of the coolest things to be able to kind of live vicariously through you and watch you attain, new accomplishments, new accolades at each level, high school, and just continue to kind of grow your prospect. Um, so you actually mentioned a good point in terms of the college recruiting, and he made mention to the audience. He made mention to my little brother Kobe, which we will have him on the show in the coming weeks or coming days. So be on the lookout for him. But you mentioned him and just kind of the college recruiting scene and going on those visits. Kind of tell us today where you're sitting with the decision going into college. Tell us, whatever you want to tell us works. You know what I mean?
Well, right now I'm still actually just being patient and being I'm just slow with my decision right now. It's some things that of course behind the scene things that I really can't speak on because we're just waiting on like the little things to get finalized or whatever. But I'm still being patient with it. With me, I graduated. I graduated high school early. I graduated actually in November, which I was supposed to. The plan was to graduate December 16th, like be completely done, but I ended up finishing early. So I was able to graduate. So my mindset with that was, I'm gonna be able to enroll in January. But the portal is kind of crazy, and just it's just football in general. It's a business. You know what I'm saying? So at first I was a little like golly, like man, like what I'm saying. But when God has a plan, you gotta be patient and stick with it and know that He's gonna come through with it.
Yeah.
So to answer your question overall is I haven't made a decision yet, but it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then we definitely understand that here at Motorsports, man. We wanna ensure that you know, we're definitely stewards of privacy, and hey, you got our support with whatever decision you rock with, roll. We're gonna obviously, check in and keep updates and whatnot on what's going on with you, as well as other athletes that we bring on the program. But aside from that, like just I want to put it out there that Auburn is like a dream school. We love Auburn, so just kind of like with what you can tell us, right? Like, how was your experience? Because I do know Auburn was one of your first experiences when it comes to being on the college football recruiting scene. So, with that being said, how were you able, or what was your experience initially, and what kind of helped you develop the IQ to know how to deal in that realm, and just kind of I guess build a rapport with coaches, and any advice you could give to any other young athletes out there watching
Right.
the program, stuff like that.
Right. So my first game that I actually attended was the Auburn game. If I were yeah, it was the first game that it was the Auburn game. Like my start my recruiting process was the Auburn game. They played Akron, and I actually went on a visit with my cousin. And so just from the first moment when I walked in, it just it felt amazing. Like it felt like I was committed. You know what I'm saying? Because they was like, hey, DaShaun Caffee, it's welcome on the plane. Like welcome DaShaun. This is Auburn. You know what I'm saying? So then I had the some reporters come. They take the pictures and they ask you a few questions. And at that time like that was like the beginning of everything. So I was just trying to be like fragile with what I say because right now I don't really know what to say, what I can't say, and stuff like that. But those are where those conversations with Kobe and Kory come in at. You know what I'm saying? Just telling me like watch for this, watch for that, because everything anything you say they'll take it and flip it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reporter part. Just talking with the coaches, just maintaining that eye contact. You know what I'm saying? Talking like I know what I'm talking about because they gon' whatever you reply with or whatever they saying, you know, that's how they gon', you know, take like, you know, if I want him or not, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you just, yeah, coach, I'm ready to commit like commit right now. It's like, oh yeah, we got that's an easy pick. You know what I'm saying? Like we can easily go to him. But if you come in there like, you know, yeah, this is, you know, this is cool. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember crazy story, man. And we was just talking about this. My first two visits, actually, I went to their first two home games. They played Akron, they played ASU. And when I got home, I told mom, I was like, Mom, Auburn is the place. Like, this is it. Like, I like it. You know, she's like, man, boy, please. Like, he was just talking about Bama. You know, he was just talking about Bama. Like, he was just liking them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, all right, I ain't finna say nothing else to you. You know what I'm saying? So I go back again. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is crazy. Like, they play at ASU, you know, and it was crazy. So I'm like, I went back. I'm like, Mom, this it. Like, this is lit. You know what I'm saying? She's like, boy, you don't know, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know, all right.
Yeah.
So, you know, I end up just taking some more visits or whatever, and just connections are real. You know what I'm saying? Connections are real. I made some connections. I still have connections. That's why I'm in the position where I'm in right now, because of connections. But I had some connections and got connections there from just building a relationship. You know what I'm saying? I actually been in the locker room. I was able to go in the locker room, experience, you know what I'm saying, how the locker room is, hear how the head coach talk, you know what I'm saying? Went to the camp, you know what I'm saying, just talking to the DB coach, just stuff like that, like little things. Just being, I was always around Auburn, so you know my face was so familiar. That's why it was so easy for me to really just. I feel like that was why it was so easy for me just to love them, or like be like, yeah, that's my dream school, because I was always around. So like, you know, I actually feel like I know the real, Auburn. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's my little rant about my dream school, Auburn or whatever.
Yeah.
But to any kids out there, or young guys out there that's actually in football and actually plan on taking these visits and stuff like that, just don't let the coaches or reporters or anything just, you know, say anything, or just anything like that. Like, go in there like, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, I'm the man. You gotta have that, you know, chest out, you know, thing like that. Just not too cocky with it, but just don't be like, I don't want nobody experience be like mine. Mine, it was great, but like I was just
Yeah.
felt like I was just too in. Like,
Yeah.
Kory was like, he hit me up like, hey, you know, you just don't be too much in, because other schools will look at that and be like, you know, ain't no need of me even wasting my time, because he all in with Auburn. You know what I'm saying? Like, he all in with Bama,
And
or
we
you know
ain't
what I'm
even
saying?
secured the offer at
We
that
ain't
point.
secured the offer. Like,
we,
we ain't even got
yeah.
we got your fin. We on the board yet. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You already all in. So
Yeah.
yeah, just be patient with the process. Enjoy the process, because it's long, it's frustrating, but it's fun also, especially when you in it. You know what I'm saying? You got all the offers, and you get to go on all these visits and stuff like that. It's actually enjoyable and fun.
So, what schools did we go to? What schools did we camp at? You know, give the audience a little insight. Some other schools that you kind of
I actually got
went
my
across.
things. I actually got my
Okay.
things on my wall, so I'm just gonna go off. I know. I camped at Troy. I camped at UAB. I did camp at Auburn my 11th grade year, I think. I camped at Florida State. I camped at I didn't camp at Georgia. I camped at ASU, and yeah, those are. Oh, Austin. I actually did go to Austin Peak, and I went to Mercury also.
Right.
And so
Didn't you camp at Florida State too?
yeah, I said Florida State.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, I camped at Florida State also. Yeah, Troy camp was actually where I picked up my first offer. Um, and it's crazy. It's a crazy story how I got my first offer, but I actually received my first offer from Mercury camp. You remember when you was talking to the coach and you was like, "That's my little cousin running the 40 or
Yeah.
whatever." After the camp, Austin Peak had been hitting me up, like, you know, but prior to that camp, just telling me that I was on their board, and they were just really excited about me. And so, you know, after the camp, that we was talking or whatever, I didn't get to talk to the Tuskegee coach. So after my Troy camp, you know, I was balling. I went crazy, ran a good 40. Everything was just great, like doing drills. So, anyways, after the camp, I go up to talk to the Tuskegee coach, and I'm like, "What's up, coach? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like y'all been now Tuskegee been recruiting me for a long time, like
Right.
since the towards the end of my 10th grade year. So I'm like, it's cool. Like y'all been on me for a little minute. Like, y'all pull the trigger. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, man, that boy got that offer. I'm like, okay, like who? I'm like, who? He like,
Yeah.
I ain't offered you the other day. And I'm like, no, Coach. He like, yeah, I thought I offered you, man. I ain't talked to you. I'm like, no. So, I'm like, it's just so much going on. It's like, that's how, because as a young kid or as a young football player, you dream of, like, I remember when I was younger, I was always like, I want my first offer to, like, I'm chilling somewhere with my homeboys, and coach hit me up like, hello, like, hey, this DaShaun, yeah, I talked to your head coach, man. This is such and such at such and such university. I want to offer you, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for my first offer to come like that, it was just like I didn't even know how to feel, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
but yeah, camp is important. And I will always say camp is important because that's just where I received my first offer. Like, obviously, the coaches had to been, he watched me at Mercer, then he saw me at Troy, you know what I'm saying? So that made him want to, offer me. So I feel like camp is it's important to me.
No, it definitely is, because that and actually, just here on this channel at the Modern Sports Show, we'll definitely get into my football journey and kind of some
Hey,
adversities that I faced, and
that's gonna be a good one.
yeah, it's a lot. I got a lot of stories.
That's gonna be a good one, man.
I got a lot of insight, and some of which Sean is talking to. Even though everybody's journey different, I do believe that I tried to give him a lot. Tried to give him a lot of wisdom and just kind of how to navigate this space, because a lot of dudes get lost in the sauce. So you got to know how to make the right moves. I know this ain't like NFL and millions of dollars, but in order to get to that level, you got to be able to navigate. Just it's murky water, so you got to be able to move the right way. And just kind of segueing into that, what are some things that, and not necessarily, kind of just being more specific about it. What are some things that you may have learned with recruiting in terms of, like, maybe some things to look out for coaches, maybe some things to look out opportunities that might come in the form of guys trying to latch on to you when you go on visits or camps, and just what are some things you learned?
One thing that I actually learned, and it was it was recent, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know how to put it, but I'm not gonna say any names or any schools, but it was one situation where me and this coach me and this staff had a very very good relationship or whatever thing, you know what I'm saying, and they actually got another opportunity, you know what I'm saying, so me just being me being fresh into this recruiting thing, well, not fresh, but like not all the way in this recruiting thing, I didn't expect it, but you know what I'm saying, they got a new opportunity, and I'm thinking like, okay, like I've been on their board, highly on their board, talking to them like every Friday, every Thursday, before my games and stuff like that. So I'm thinking like, I'm about to get an opportunity from them. Well, that just wasn't the case, you know what I'm saying, and it kind of opened my eyes, because it's like why just why even build this relationship with me if like, what I'm saying, if you was to get a new opportunity today or whenever, what I'm saying, you're just gonna act like
Yeah,
we're just gonna really start back over, like
yeah,
like start all the way back over, like what's your name, what's what I'm saying, what's your transcript look like, everything. It's like, what I'm saying,
yeah.
but that was actually my first incident. Another incident. Well, that wasn't my first. Another incident was coaches. They gonna keep it real, and some coaches they gonna say whatever, especially if they know that you're not gonna play or with them or whatever the case may be. I had
It's all
actually
tactical, right? It's
right,
all
right,
tactical.
right, right. I actually had one coach tell me, he was like, "Man, we got to put some heels on you." You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Yeah,
he's like, what I'm saying? Like, what? You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? I'm
yeah,
like, do that.
yeah.
In my head, I'm like,
They go watch my play on the field. That's all.
right. It's like, you see the film, like, no, that
Yeah.
don't matter. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it just really just opened my. But I haven't had no crazy, you know, like really just not decisions, but like situations with
Yeah.
college coachings or anything. Those are just two little things. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
this it's a business, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And coaches got to do, they got to do what's best for them at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Because they some of them have family to feed, you know what I'm saying? They got to do what is literally best for them in their
Right.
position, whatever they're playing. I mean, wherever they're coaching at. So
Yeah. Yeah. At the same time, players, young guys, do what's best for you. You know.
right,
That,
yeah, most
that,
definitely.
and that, of course, in this day and age, comes in the form of transfer transfer portal. But
Yeah, man.
that's a long topic, gashing topic in and of itself. So, just in closing, right? I believe that you are a great young man. We here at the Modern Sports Show, we know that you have a bright future ahead of you. We know that you are very involved in the community. You're very involved prior to graduating, because he said that guy he graduated in November. So take note of that. Um, Early graduate, community pillar in the community. Great athlete, great young man. Just in closing, what are some things that you might want to give to some younger guys, just in general, just life advice, in terms of how to be successful, or just kind of like how to position themselves for success?
um I got two, maybe three things. The first thing is, my biggest thing is when I look into being successful and what does it take for myself to be successful. I start with, the people around me. I always look and see who is around me. You know what I'm saying? If you're not, like, we don't have the same mindset or even a better mindset, then I don't really want you around me. You know what I'm saying? I can have somebody like you around me because, we both have goals and aspirations that we want in life. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm actually looking for. I always start with who is around me, the people around me, the group around me, or who I'm surrounding myself with. Um, who am I modeling? Who am I looking after? Who do I want to be like? You know what I'm saying? Those are that's really the main thing for real. For me is make sure the person that you're walking behind is actually doing the right thing, is doing something that you want to do, that you can see yourself doing in the future, even better than they're doing it. Who are the people around you? What are they doing? Do they have the same mindset? You know what I'm saying? Are y'all moving modest? Um, like all that, like that
They
goes
gonna
into
learn.
play.
They gonna learn what that
Yeah,
means.
they gonna learn. um, but yeah, man. Then also my mindset. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my mindset um is really what had me in the position that I am today. You know what I'm saying? Without a mindset, I don't feel like that you can really do anything that you really want to. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we sat down the beginning of my sophomore year, not knowing, you know what I'm saying, what we're expecting not to start, not to even play. That was my mindset. But I sat down and I had a mindset that I wanted 50 plus tackles. I wanted this amount of picks. I wanted this amount of PPU, and I wanted this amount of forced fumbles. You know what I'm saying? That was just my mindset. But I also had a mindset like I'm not even finna play. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And just manifesting those things. You know what I'm saying? And making them come real. It was like, yeah, I want to up my game with my mindset. I want to, you know what I'm saying, do this. I want to 10 times that and see where it gets me. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So just
Yeah.
having a good mindset, making sure your role model is on point. You know what I'm saying? And making sure the people around you have a better mindset or the same mindset as yourself.
Yeah. Hey man, we love it here at Modern Sports, man. We love responses like that. It was a pleasure interviewing you tonight. You being the first guest in a long line of guests that we have coming on to this show. So it was a pleasure. It was an honor to have you on. We wish you the best of the luck in future. We would for sure, as time nears to you going to college and you getting settled, whether that be in the spring or whether that be in the summer. Of course, we're going to keep track, and we're gonna cover you as an athlete because we love you here at Modern Sports. So
Most definitely, man. I really do appreciate you having you guys having me as the first athlete on the show, man. Hopefully, man, I can get back on here whenever I'm ready to announce my decision.
For sure.
I can do it, live right here, man.
Hey.
That would be that's ain't
Let
even
us
something
know.
that ain't even something that we talked about. But just thinking, I thought about that when we asked about my future and stuff. I was like, that'd be cool. Like,
DaShaun Caffee might be the first athlete to announce his commitment on the Modern Sports Show. So
that'd be crazy.
Hey, we gotta make that happen. So
we're gonna talk. Hey, Marty, we're gonna talk.
All right. Well, Sean, we appreciate you, man. Have a good night, and we're gonna be tapping in.
Same to you, man. Same to you. Appreciate it.
All right, man.
Bet.